Welcome to the Excel Executive. Today we will be talking about a concept referred to as conditional formatting. So, formatting simply means that you are changing the way a cell or a row looks in Excel. So, by changing the background color or the font size and so on and so forth. But in most cases, when you are analyzing data, you would like to set a condition, and then that formatting should work on that condition, and it should work in such a way that it changes dynamically. So when the data in your table changes, the formatting should also change accordingly. So for this, we use this feature. Now, you can access this feature by using the tab here, conditional formatting. And these first 4 or 5 options, these are predefined options available in the software. Now what happens is when I'm using this feature, first thing first is that I don't use this on a day-to-day basis, but sometimes it is very helpful. That is why I'm making a video on it. So what you can do is that you can use these predefined rules, but normally when I'm trying to do something relating to conditional formatting, these rules are not good enough. So what I do in 99% of the cases is that I will create a custom rule, and of course Excel has that option, and we will look into it, and I use that to do all my conditional formatting. But first, what I would do is that I will just go through these options. So first is highlight cell rules. So this is basically the first few options are number based. So if a value in a cell is greater than a certain number, is less than, is between, equal to, then there is this text option. So if a cell contains text, then there is a date one, and then you can highlight duplicate values in a column or in a table if you like. So let's try a couple of these. So first is, let's say, I don't know, greater than. So what I can do is that I will select this column and I will go there, and let's say I want anything that is greater than, let's say, $10. So just highlight that part. So I'll type in 10, click OK, and you will see that the numbers which are more than 10 have been highlighted by the software. If I change this to 11, it will highlight this as well. So this is the first thing. Let me try one more. Let's say here I'm going to highlight this one, go to highlight cell rules and text that contains. It picked up juice automatically, but I can change it. Let's say I type in soda, like so, and you can see that it will dynamically change it. So if another cell in your table also contains the same word, it will highlight it automatically. You get the point. Anyways, this is simple enough. The second part is the top and bottom rules. Normally this applies to columns which contains numbers. So let's say, let me highlight this one, the quantity column, and go to the top rule. Let's say it's saying top 10 items. Now I think we have a total of 8 items, so it will highlight all of them. But I can change this. This top 10 is not fixed. Let's say I want to see the top 3, and he's going to highlight the top 3 cells in this table. Similarly, what you can do is that you can take the bottom, you can take the values which are above average and below average. Now, this bit is basically a fill. Let me show you. So what this is doing is that it's trying to see which cell has the highest value. So in this case, this one has the highest value, and it will fill the whole cell with that bar. And all the other bars are in comparison to this. So if I make it really white, the rule will stay intact. So these are data bars with solid fill and gradient fill. And then you have color scales. So this will just highlight it. So maybe the highest one is the red, and from red it is going to green. You can reverse it if you like, so on and so forth. I have never used it in my life, ever. These are icon sets. Some people use it. I don't. I don't see these being very helpful. But if you feel like using it, you can use it. Your choice. So these are the predefined options available when it comes to conditional formatting. Now again, like I said, I normally don't use these options. What I use is a custom rule, which you can access by clicking this button, New Rule. You click it, it has a couple of options which are copied from the above predefined options. But what this separate window is doing is that it lets you change the formatting as per your requirements. So again, these first 3, 4, 5 options, I don't use them. The one that I use is this last one. So please remember this. It says use a formula to determine which cells to format. Once you click it, this field becomes active. And what you can do is that what you can do is that you can just type in the formula or the condition for which you want this conditional formatting to work. You punch in that bit here, and then you select your custom format, so the colors that you would like, and this is the preview window, so it will show you a preview of how that format is going to look in the end product. And once you do that, then yeah, you're good to go basically. So let's try out a couple of examples. Now, this is a bit, I'm not going to say it's complex, but it's a bit complicated. It has its nuances and what have you. So I will try to just show it to you, how it works, and hopefully it will be easy by the end of this video. So first, let's go through a couple of examples. So first is, let's say that I'm saying that in the quantity column, this one, column F, so any value that is equal to $4, I want to highlight that. Now, when you start this, same thing as a formula, you start with an equal sign. Then you're supposed to punch in the condition. Now, what happens is that you have to start with the first cell. You have to refer the first cell. So I can't click it right now because this window is open, but if you see, this cell is F column and the third row. So this is F3. So I will type F3 equals 4. And I'm not going to click OK. I have to select the formatting as well. So in the format box, you have all these options. So you have all this stuff which you can change. But what I would normally do is that I will just change the fill, and that would be it. So let's say I take this blue color, click OK, and you can see that all the format values will show this bit. Okay. Now there's this one problem with this, is that whenever you do this, you have to fix the column for it to work correctly. I don't know what the logical reason is, but every time I do it without punching in the $sign, it never works. Sometimes it would, but in most cases it never does. So what I will do is that I will fix the column. The row is fine, and this is the condition. I'm going to click OK. And and we're not done yet. So once you create a rule, then all the rules, you can see them by clicking this bit, Manage Rules. You click this, and you have all the rules. Now, the second part is this bit, Applies To. So you have to select the area for which this should apply. So first I will select only this column, and then I will select the whole table for you to see. So I click this button, and now I can make the selection. So let's say I select the quantity column, as you can see here. And then I am going to click Apply first, and then I'm going to click OK. So let me just check it again. So what happens sometimes is that when you type in the formula, sometimes, I don't know if it's a bug or an error, so I have to punch this bit again. So to do that, I will highlight the rule that I want to edit, and I'm going to click Edit Rule. So again, this is supposed to be F3, not this cell. So I'm going to type that again. So $F3. So I have fixed the column, and the row is not fixed. I'm going to click OK, Apply, and OK. And here you can see that these two cells in this column have a quantity equal to 4, and that is why it has highlighted these. If I change this to 4 as well, it will do the same. Okay, now let me go back to the window, manage rules. So this has only highlighted these cells. Let's say you want to highlight the whole row. So for that, again, in applies to, you will select the option, and instead of selecting one column, you will select all or multiple columns that you want to highlight. So I'm going to do this and go back, click apply, and click OK. And here you can see that now, because I have selected the whole table in the applies to option, so that is why it has highlighted the whole bit. Again, if I change this to 4, it will highlight this as well. That's one thing. This is very important to note. So you can, first step, I'm going to repeat it. First step is that you punch in the formula. You select the desired format, and then you click OK. Then you go back to this window, and then you change this applies to. So if you want to highlight one or multiple columns, so let me show this as well. So instead of selecting the whole table, you want to highlight this column and these two columns. You can do that as well. So I'm going to go in there, apply, OK. And as you can see that it is highlighting only our selection. So I'm going to change that back to the whole table. Okay. So hopefully this is correct. You have understood all the steps. So first is again, and I know it is a bit confusing, but you choose a formula, you type in the formula, change the formatting, click OK, and then you check applies to, and that should get you the desired result. Now, why I use only the background or the fill? That is because in a table you can filter based on the color. So I can just filter these two out. So if you have applied a formatting condition, then you can use the fill to filter the table. That is why I use only this option. Okay. So back to this one. Now, instead of a number, if you have a text value, you can use that as well. So I'm just gonna edit the same, or let me just delete this formula. And the formatting is gone. Let's apply this with a text field. So again, I'm saying that any, let's say, row that contains the category of snacks, that should be highlighted. So let's try that. Again, new rule. Again, use a formula. Start with equals. Now that value is in the B column. So again, I'm going to fix the column $B3, because that is the point from which the data starts. Equals, and because this is a text field, so I will type it in double quotations. Snacks. And I'm not going to click OK. I have to change the format first. Again, fill. Let's take this one. OK. And OK. Again, manage rules. And here, applies to. And let's apply that to the whole table. Back there. Apply. And again, you see the problem here. So I'm going to edit it again and change this whole bit back to $B3. Okay, apply. And here you can see that these are highlighted. So if this was snacks as well, so it will highlight that as well. So we are done with numbers, and we are done with text values. Okay, so let me go here and delete this rule as well. Apply, okay. Back to square one. Now, because it is saying that you can type in a formula, So you can actually type in formulas as well. So let's try one. So let's say we are saying that we want to highlight all the fields in which the category is drinks and the item name is soda, let's say. Let's try that. So because we want both conditions to be, we want this formula to check if both of these conditions meet, and only then we are supposed to apply this formatting. So we will use the AND formula. So I will type in AND. So first condition is that category is supposed to be drinks. So again, categories is in the B column, so we will type in $B3 equals drinks in double quotation marks. And the second condition is that the item name, which is column D, so again, $D3 equals, let's say, soda. So if both of these conditions meet, then we are supposed to apply this format. Okay, okay, and we're not done yet. Back to the formatting rules, manage rules, and applies to, let's say, again, the whole table. Apply. Okay, and so again, you see that these values have changed, so I have to type that in again. So drinks are here, so I will type in B3. And here it's D3. Okay, apply. And we're in business. So if it's drinks and soda, then it's going to work. So if it's drinks, if we type in here soda as well, it'll pick that up as well. And similarly, you can, let me just modify this rule. So if I'm saying that it doesn't have to be drinks and soda, it can be drinks or soda. So check this column. If it's drinks, just highlight it in green, or if this bit has soda in it, just highlight that in green as well. So I will just change the formula from and to or. Click OK, click apply. Okay, and here you can see that it's working. Let me type in soda here, and this has highlighted this as well, despite the fact that the category are snacks and this is soda. So let me do that one last time. Go to manage rules, and here let's say it's if category is drinks and item name is, I don't know, chips. So it should highlight the first 3 rows and the last row, because this one has chips in it. Apply, and as you can see, it works perfectly. And you can filter it by color. And of course, I'm using a very small table just to illustrate a point. In normal circumstances, the tables have tens of thousands of rows, and this option becomes very helpful. So that is pretty much it when it comes to conditional formatting. Again, like I said, I don't use it all the time, but whenever I have to use it, I type in a custom formula. That is the best way to go about it. So that is it, I suppose. Do all the good stuff, like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.